Conspiracy theories are not new in the US, but what was once the domain of doomsday preppers and weirdo uncles
chemtrails
has taken hold of the mainstream and even made its way into the Oval Office.
Why doesn't he show the birth certificate?
From flat earthers to fake news, from crisis actors to QAnon, why are conspiracy theories so popular? First, we should discuss who conspiracy theories are for.
Conspiracy theories are for losers.
This is Joseph Usinski, a political science professor at the University of Miami who studies conspiracy theories. He means this literally.
Conspiracy theories are for losers because losers use them to motivate their base to fight back against powerful institutions.
Which explains why some of the more creative conspiracies crop up after electoral losses.
So when we poll in the months following every presidential election, almost half of the losing party says that something went wrong. There was fraud.
rigged.
And that's something that losers like to do because it takes responsibility off of them.
We see this with Bill Clinton's win in '94.
There were conspiracy theories about Bill and Hillary killing lots of people.
Bush's win in 2000.
Immediately they believed that his brother or the Supreme Court had rigged the election in Bush's favor.
And then quite famously, after Obama's win in 2008, we had
he was a secret Muslim or a Manchurian candidate or blew up the Deepwater Horizon well.
Usinski even says there were conspiracies after the 2016 election.
Shortly after the election outcome, 50% of Democrats said that they thought Russia had rigged the voting machines, even though there was no evidence whatsoever that that had taken place.
But we also see conspiracies crop up after a different kind of loss.
Post the 9/11 terrorist attacks, people who lived closer to New York were more likely to believe conspiracy theories surrounding the 9/11 attacks than people who lived in the US further away.
This is Joanne Miller, an associate professor at the University of Minnesota who co-authored a paper on conspiracy theories with Christina Farhart, an assistant professor at Carleton College.
It's odd to say that a conspiracy theory actually makes people feel better, because let's face it, it's a secret plot.
But to believe that a US president was involved in an elaborate scheme to bring down the towers is,
in some sense, more palatable than evil terrorists did this to us and they could do it again, and it was a semi-random event that could happen again.
That is to say, during moments of great loss, conspiracy theories can be used to give us the illusion of control. But people rarely believe in a single conspiracy. Studies show that if you believe George Bush caused 9/11, you're more likely to believe that vaccinations cause autism, or that global warming is a hoax, or that the government administered AIDS. This is problematic because
there is some evidence that those who are high in conspiratorial thinking do register less frequently and turn out to vote less frequently.
And that makes sense in some sense. If you believe in particular that the government is engaging in secret plots and they're not to be trusted therefore, then working inside the system may not be the best way to register your unhappiness.
And so, far from giving us control, conspiracy theories are dangerous because they strip us of our agency to act.
So one good example of this is vaccine conspiracy theories. So when people start to believe in vaccine conspiracy theories, they're much less likely to get vaccinated or to have their children vaccinated. And this can cause a problem because people will get sick with diseases that are easily preventable.
And while we generally think of
the sort of stereotype of someone who believes conspiracy theories is this crazy outlier,
the opposite is true.
These beliefs are actually really quite prevalent. There's some work that shows that about 50% of the US population believes at least one conspiracy theory.
Which means conspiracy theories are part of who we are. Maybe that's not entirely bad.
We can thank conspiracy theorists in part for the 9/11 Commission, for the Watergate investigations, for the investigations into Trump.
Because even when a conspiracy theory is proven false, it can still lead to the uncovering of truth.
We want people to question political power. We want people to be aware of what's happening in current administrations and the political environment.
And so maybe instead of trying to fight conspiratorial thinking, we should be trying to better understand its root causes.
Conspiracy theories are part of the human experience. They're always going to be with us. And there are always going to be people accusing other people of conspiring against all of us. Those theories could turn out to be true, but most of the time they won't. So a good thing to do is listen to our institutions that are designed to create and build knowledge for us.
Or maybe that's just what they want you to believe.